This is my favorite retro gaming console, the R36S. I've been using it for over a year now, and during this time, I've made a bunch of videos about it, how to improve the user experience, reinstall the firmware, choose a better SD card instead of the default one, change the theme, connect a Wi-Fi adapter, update the firmware, and many other things that help my viewers and subscribers. But today, I want to go a step further and answer the most common questions I get in the comments. This video will be a big FAQ on using the R36S, and I hope it helps you find all the answers you need. So let's get started.
What if my console only have one SD card which is on the left side and there no extra in the bag or box?
One of the most frequently asked questions is, when you buy the R36S, especially from AliExpress, you usually have to choose an SD card with a game collection, either 64GB or 128GB. But the package typically includes a separate 32GB SD card with the ArkOS firmware. That means you get two SD cards, one with the firmware and another with games. During discount seasons, you can get R36S for even less, especially if you use a promo code. You'll find all information and the link in the description box. However, some stores sell the console with only one SD card that contains both the firmware and the games. That's totally fine, and you don't need to worry about it. Either way, you're getting low-quality SD cards, and I highly recommend replacing them with branded ones. I've shown this compatibility table multiple times in my videos, and you'll find a link to it in the description box. It lists SD cards that work well with the R36S. You can use either one or two SD cards. Personally, I prefer to separate the system from the games, so I always use two. If you need to install ArkOS on a new SD card, I've already explained it in these two videos. And if you want to transfer your game collection from the default SD card to a new one, check out this video. All the links are in the description box. I think that answers this question, so now you know why your console might have only one SD card. Moving on to the next one.
Hi, I got a problem that my PPSSPP controls is reversed.
This usually happens when you're using the stock firmware on your SD card. The best solution is to replace the SD card and reinstall the firmware. I just explained how to do that. But there's another way to fix this. You can manually remap the controls in the PPSSPP emulator settings. Go to Settings, then Controls, and select Control Mapping. Here, you can assign the correct directions and continue playing. You can also try resetting the controls to default or calibrating the analog stick. Another option is to exit the game. Go to the main menu, open Options, and under the Advanced section, find Restore Default PPSSPP Controls. This might help, but honestly, the best and most reliable fix is to install a fresh firmware version on a good SD card. That way, you'll avoid unnecessary issues with the console.
There isn't an option to switch to two SD cards on my console, yet it is the R36S model. Is there another way to set that up?
Most people use either the first or second SD card for their game collection. The option to enable the first or second SD card is in the Advanced menu under Options. There is also a setting called Read for SD1 and SD2 for ROMs. If you store different games on two SD cards and want to use them together, enable this option. So you have three ways to store and play your games on the R36S. If you don't see these options, you might be using a different or outdated version of ArkOS.
R36S, why can I not add games to my SD card? It says it is write protected, but it is not.
This probably means you're using the default SD card for storing games. I strongly recommend getting a branded SD card and using it for your game collection. I have a video on my channel explaining how to do this. Just follow the instructions and you'll be good to go. And before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment. This helps me promote the channel. Also, you can click the bell icon, so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you for your attention. Let's continue.
Hello my friend, I lost all games in my R36S. Is there any solutions?
If you've lost your entire game collection, don't worry, you can always download the games you need from the internet. I've made a video on how to rebuild your game collection, so check it out and make sure you don't lose your games again.
I followed everything and I think it worked, but when I put the SD card into the R36S, it doesn't boot up. It just flashes dim red light and never comes on. When I put the factory SD cards back in, it boots up. Why is this?
You were trying to install a new ArkOS firmware version, great idea, but before downloading the firmware, make sure you check your console's screen version. Follow the instructions in this video. The issue might also be that your SD card isn't compatible with the console. If the R36S doesn't detect it, you'll need to use another one from the compatibility table. Based on user reviews, the best SD cards are Samsung and SanDisk Extreme. I personally use a 32GB SD card for ArkOS. Also, there is a small chance that your console isn't a real R36S, but a clone. If that's the case, you'll need to find a different firmware. Try searching for it online.
I have downloaded the same Indiana game on my R36, however it is not running smoothly in my console. How to resolve that issue?
To improve PSP game performance on your R36S, you'll need to optimize the PPSSPP emulator settings. I made a separate video on this, and I also posted a screenshot on the settings in my Telegram channel. You'll find all the links in the description box.
This did not fix the choppy sound issue when I'm playing Transformers, the game PSP version.
I've mentioned this in my videos before. No matter how well you're optimized PPSSPP, the R36S still struggles with demanding PSP games. If you want smooth gameplay, it's better to stick to graphically simpler games like Loco Roco, Little Big Planet or Metal Slug. At the end of the day, most problems people have with the R36S come down to one thing: they don't replace the default SD card. They keep using the low-quality ones that come with the console, and sometimes they even try updating the default firmware without realizing it's a mistake. So the best thing you can do after getting the console, get a new SD card. You can go with one or two, depending on how you want to store your games. Install ArkOS using my tutorial, then transfer your game collection to the new SD card. You can either keep the games on a separate card or put everything on the same one as the firmware. It's up to you. And one more thing, there is a great website with tons of useful info on the R36S. It has hotkey tables, guides and many more. I'll leave a link to the R36S Handheld wiki in the description box. If you still have questions about the R36S, drop them in the comments and I'll try to answer as many as I can. If there are a lot of new questions, I might make another FAQ video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I wish you pleasant nostalgia and successful completion of your favorite games.